Coming up tonight, it is the Premier League. It returns this weekend. We all want it back, and we have got the Manchester Derby, the 197th Manchester Derby. I've got two guests, a City fan and a Man United fan in the wings, waiting to come on to air their views on Football Then and Now. It's episode 80 after this.
Football Then and Now, a fun look at football nostalgia and the modern game intertwined. Join us.
A warm welcome. This is episode 80 of Football Then and Now, and we have got a huge Manchester Derby preview with my good pals Dan, who was on the show 19 months ago talking about Man City, and a new guest and a friend of many, many years. It's Andy Morland, huge Man United fan. How are we, gents?
Very good, mate.
I think, like we spoke off camera, of course, I think we've got to talk about Pep Guardiola, and from the outside looking in, it's pressure. Dan, obviously it's your club, you know him inside out and backwards. What are your thoughts in regards to Pep at the moment?
Pep is the man. Pep's the man. He doesn't feel pressure. We've had a bit
He's
of a
going to crack.
Spell. He's not going to crack. We've had a bit of a bad spell last season. A few kinks for this season, first couple of games. But you can't question the man. He's won everything in football. He's revolutionised football. He's been the best manager Premier League's ever seen, in my opinion.
Some bad comments being made here, Stu. I think you might have to jump in.
I will save them. I will save them because obviously I want to get Andy's point of view on Pep as well. And we are going to talk about Ruben, of course. But what do you think in regards to Pep? Just try not to be too one-sided with your Man United cap on the way, Andy.
He's got his cap on.
Look, joking aside, sort of playing devil's advocate to the short man. Big Pepper, he's done well. He's been the second greatest manager in Premier League history, behind Fergie, obviously. But I don't think he has been under this much pressure probably since he first started in the job. It's his first proper big rebuild that he's done there. His first one, I don't know, I'm not sure if this is right for Med, which is Dan.
Well,
is this the first time he has gone into a season without Tixi Begiristain? Is that what his name is?
Yeah. He's always had him at his side, hasn't he? So yeah, that was a big.
Yeah,
it was a big one. That's a big loss.
It's a big rebuild for him. And I've got a stat for you, boys. And I've got to be honest, I don't know if it's right because I've not researched it properly, but it's a stat. The last time Man United went into a Premier League game ahead of City, into a Premier League derby, with City, was the 12th of Feb 2011.
That says it all.
I don't know if that is right, but
I think that could be true,
Yeah,
I know
we
it's
have
early
been
in the
terrible
season
for a long time. Yeah,
that's
Dan,
mad how you are above us. That's crazy.
Dan, I want to reverse it now on Amorim because Andy's had his thoughts on Pep. Amorim, pressure on him as well. What are your thoughts with Amorim? Again, try and take your City hat off for just a minute.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you think about Ruben Amorim. Pressure. There's pressure on him. There is, of course, there is.
There's been pressure on him since he arrived, hasn't there? There's been pressure on him. I think United basically bullied him last season, dragged him in when he didn't want to come. He wanted to wait for the summer, bring in his own players in, and I feel like they've kind of infected him with what was already at the club, like the bad feelings, the bad vibes. I think if he could have come in this summer and started afresh, his own views, his own ways. But I feel like because he's come in mid-season took over from Ten Hag, I think it's tarnished him a little bit now. And I think he's struggling to get, just get back on track for how he was playing football with Sporting. I don't know.
It's a different kettle of fish, and they were decent in the Champions League, of course, under him. But Portugal, it's Portugal, I'm afraid. And when it's out in the Prem, it's a different ball game altogether.
Well, that's why he's better off starting. You're better off starting him from this season. They could have just kept Rudin, just the temporary manager, and just let him come in. But I think they've damaged him now, and I don't think he'll I don't think he'll be there in 2 years.
Andy, Big Ruben, mate.
Yeah, Big Rubes, right? My opinion on him is I think he's a top bloke. I think he comes across really well. Very charismatic, interviews really well. Biggest problem he's got is that we are an absolute shower at the minute as a club. Top to bottom, trying to sort it. He's in the eye of the storm a bit there. I think biggest issue he's had, like Dan says, he's coming halfway through the season, last season, when we were at a very low ebb anyway under Ten Hag. We've been sort of dropping off from the previous season, continued dropping from the last season. He's come in, his formation, we'll probably get into that in a bit more detail shortly, but he's sticking to it. He is not a pragmatist. He is a man who is going to be keeping that in, and it's going to be his way or the highway. And I'm a bit worried about that. I think it'll probably work all right this weekend because I think he does all right against the bigger clubs. Well, I say bigger clubs, we'll include City in that. But I think he does do all right against them, especially because we'll probably be more like a back five this weekend. But I don't know. That Grimsby result was a massive, massive punch to his gut, I think. And
that was a smelly game. That was a bad game.
It was a mega stinker as a United fan.
It was a strong team as well.
Yeah, that was the worst.
It wasn't a weak team. It wasn't like youth players or anything like you had your first teamers out.
Yeah, we pretty much, by the end of the game, we had everyone on there.
Grimsby's keeper was shocking, Andy, as well. Not to make it about him. He was awful. And he still
won. Both keepers were.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised they're still not taking penalties now.
But
there's just no one was saving anything.
It's been and gone. You had to move on from it.
But look, we come out of that. We played Burnley last week. I mean, this is how bad it is as a United fan at a minute. We had a good half against Burnley. So, we could be on the way up, gents. We'll just have to... We'll see. I want it to work for him. I want it to work for him because he's a decent bloke. I think he played good football in Portugal. Whether he's going to get the time here. My biggest concern, right, I'm sorry I'm waffling on a bit now. My biggest concern with it is when Ten Hag went, we were left with a load of players that he tried to buy for his system that didn't work. So you had Anthony, he bought in Christian Eriksen, which I know he wasn't a big money signing. Casemiro, how much he wanted him, I don't know. Sancho was there before, wasn't he? But he'd spent a lot of money on his players to fit into his system. And when he left, there was all the talk of, don't worry, we're going to do a bit like what City have done. We're going to sign players that fit the system that we want to play because they were signing players ready for Pep probably before Pep joined.
Yeah.
And all we've done, we basically done the exact same thing again with Amorim. He plays a back three. It's a very specialist system. Wing backs, not full backs. Number 10s, not wingers. And we've done exactly the same. So my big worry is if he doesn't last, we're going to be in exactly the same spot, and we've just dropped probably £250 million over the summer on players that might not fit the next manager's system.
Put eloquently there, mate, and you weren't waffling. There was a lot for you to talk about there. Dan, new signings. I think we'll move us along to new signings. We spoke about the players. Should we start with Donnarumma, Dan, or do you want to go with somebody else?
Yeah, go with Donnarumma, yeah.
The Donna.
So, James Trafford obviously came in, and then lo and behold, big Donnarumma's come in now, and James Trafford's just not going to get a look in, aside from maybe League Cup games.
Yeah, here's a mad one. It's the signing of Trafford. We left that till the last minute with Newcastle bidding because we didn't want him to go to Newcastle on the cheap. So we've had him in for a few games, and then we've signed Donnarumma, the best goalkeeper, probably the best goalkeeper in the world. So, at least in the top few.
Got a question though, mate. Is his lack of ability with his feet going to be an issue in Pep's team?
Listen, every professional goalkeeper, every professional footballer can kick the ball 5 yards to their mate, except James Trafford against Spurs. But apart from that, you're knocking the ball out short. I'm sure he's capable of pinging passes.
Well, he should be, shouldn't he?
His shot stopping is, second to none. He is unbelievable. Penalty saver. He's a massive unit. I just think it was a no-brainer because he wanted to come to City. 25 million. He's won He's won Golden Gloves. He's won like he won best player in the Euro 20. Was it Euro 2020?
He's a big game player, isn't he? Big game player.
This is what I was worried about Trafford, because I was all big for James Trafford, because, City lad, plays Pep's way, he's through our academy, and he was great for Burnley. And I was cheering him on. I didn't want us to sign Donnarumma at first. I said, let's give him a go. But after the first couple of games, you're thinking there's no confidence.
Playing out the back against Spurs and the hook up at the back, that was the telltale sign. That makes you wonder.
Knocked me sick. But he started that game kicking long.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Pep said to him or something, stop it, and it's got in his head, and then he's played them stupid passes. But I think you don't know with Donnarumma now, because he does like to move about a bit, I suppose. I know he's only 26. Maybe he might even be at City for a couple of years, and then if Trafford sticks it out and just plays cup with us, maybe then Trafford, with a lot more confidence, will take over as number one and then stay City's keeper for the next decade.
I've got a suspicion he might struggle a bit playing for Pep. I think he's a great goalkeeper. I think he's got fantastic shot stopping ability. But I think one of the reasons Enrique got rid of him is because he wasn't as good at playing the ball with his feet.
Yeah, there is that. But I think like last season, we had Ederson playing the ball with his feet excellent, but Ederson's shot stopping last season was an issue. So I think that maybe they've looked at it and gone, we need a keeper to save some shots. I'm not saying Ederson wasn't great, because he's unreal. He's been unreal for City, but we just need a goalie that's going to stop the ball going in the net, because we've been leaking far too much.
Definitely. I want to just move us along, if that's okay, boys, if you're all good.
Go.
Yeah.
The new boy is coming from Royal Antwerp, of course. Anana has gone to Trabzonspor now on loan. Larmans, however you pronounce it, Andy. We were talking about this again yesterday, just previous to coming on. Who will start in goal? Will he go with the new boy, or will the Turkish lad get in?
Don't know, mate. It's a big one, isn't it? Big Sene. In my head, he's going to be the next Thibaut Courtois, and I've never seen him play. So
the next Mignolet. Next Mignolet, I think.
Oh, hopefully not, eh? My God, that would be terrible. I don't know. It's a massive decision for Amorim to make, because the highest level he's played at is the Belgian Premier League. I think Antwerp finished something like 5th or 6th last year. It's going to be an absolute pressure cooker. You've seen loads of people in the press this week coming out, seen people like Roy Carroll speaking about it, saying how the number one spot at United is horrendous. It's a pressure cooker. There's so much pressure on you. Do you put him in a derby, in his first game away at City? I remember, how long ago would it have been? Probably nearly 20 years ago. And that's how we're old. We stuck Evra and Vidic in the starting lineup at the City of Manchester, as it probably was then. Yeah, they had an absolute nightmare. They got run ragged.
I think he bought Evra off at half time, I think.
Yeah, he had a shocker. So I think there's nothing to stick Bayindir in. I don't think Bayindir is the right one long term. Good shots, a bit like a very poor man's Donnarumma. Good shot stopper. Can't seem to pass the ball out. Sure, has a good long range of passing, but flaps a bit of crosses as well.
Why not sign for Martinez? Why didn't they sign Martinez? That's what I don't get.
I think he's just too much money, mate. And I think if we'd have got in for Donnarumma, I don't know if he'd have joined us, but 2, he's probably costing you the thick end of about £500,000 a week. When you've got money coming into your club from all sorts of countries that sponsor their own events, it's probably quite easy. But we just don't have that. We don't have that cash, and I think that's why we didn't go for Martinez, because I think he was getting paid probably $250,000 a week. We've just tried to knock our wage bill down something rotten, which we've done a good job of. But bringing him in, and he's probably got 2 or 3 seasons left. I don't know. Big risk with Sene. Hope he works out. Good price. Good potential. Looks good. Ignore the clips you see on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whoppers post them in WhatsApp chats. Yeah, I bet you have.
That was always going to happen. I was waiting for that. They'll have the blooper clips, and they won't show what he's actually done decent. That's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, it's.
Do you remember? Sorry, Stu. Do you remember when De Gea signed for United, and I think didn't we play in the Community Shield? And he had absolute in his debut against City, and he had some howlers, and everyone like hammered him like the first half of the season.
He's a small, slight lad as well, though. De Gea, wasn't he? He built himself up over a couple of years. Where Lamans looks, or Le Mans, as I think you meant to pronounce it. He's a big unit. He's tall. He's bulky. He's 23, so he's not a baby either. So, yeah, I don't know. The part of me that we've all got in as football fans, wanting to watch a new signing play. I do want to see him play. Whether it's the wisest thing to stick him in a Manchester derby at the Etihad, I don't know. And I suspect Bayindir will be starting in goal.
Definitely. Just looking at time again, boys. Just going to move us along to a few more players before we do predictions, of course. Dan, back to City. Tierney Reinders, who signed in the summer. He was at the Club World Cup, of course, as well. Just his start, how he's been getting on. I know you wanted to pinpoint him early on in his City career.
I love him. He instantly came in. He just looks. I was hyping him up so much after that Wolves game because I've never seen a debut like it. He just absolutely dominated. In retrospect, now looking at the next two games, maybe it was more, kind of a case of Wolves having a shocker against us, but he just looked the real deal. He just was, he's like box to box, arriving late, scoring goals. He was passing. He was assisting. He just looks. I don't know. I think he's going to be our star player this season. I really do. He's got good experience. He was at AC Milan when the Dutch international. He just
huge shout.
I think it's for us, for Man City. I'm not 100% sure if he'll be the Premiership player this season, but for City, I think he's going to be our star player this season.
He came in for 30-odd million as well, didn't he?
I don't know. I've only seen him play against Wolves, as I suspect a lot of us have. I don't know about him being the best player for City this season. I think Dan's watched about 60 minutes of him combined. Don't think he can make judgments like that. But we'll see. He might be.
YouTube, innit? I've been scrolling YouTube, been watching all the highlights,
the clips,
his career highlights on YouTube. The classic
Why are United still paying through the nose for players when the likes of City and Chelsea are getting players in for 30, 40 million? It's like you're still paying a premium. You're still paying a premium all these years later. And the glory is, well in the rear view in terms of Premier League and Champions League, of course. I know you've won FA Cups. I know all that.
The big ones.
It's still this premium for players where the top six sides seem to be wangling deals and getting good prices for players. What do you think?
United are desperate.
I was literally about to say that. We're desperate, and there's a select amount of players who are probably at that level who will want to join us. Like apparently in Mbeumo and Kuna, they wanted to join us because they supported us when they were younger.
Yeah.
When they were younger, we were still probably the biggest team around. It's a pretty small market that we get to shop in now, and because of that, you know yourself, if you're going into a shop that's open at 11:30 at night when everywhere else is shut, you're going to pay probably £5 for a bottle of water. Whereas, when you go into Italy to sign players that Dan's never seen play, it's a bit cheaper, isn't it? But I don't know. We are desperate. We have to sign the players that are going to improve us. We can't afford, because we're United, we can't afford to spend 3, 4, 5 years on a project and wait for someone to come good. So yeah, I think that's it, unfortunately, for us.
I'm going to go on to Brian and Bruno because you wanted to talk about him, of course. So we'll bring him in. Fantastic last couple of years with Brentford, of course. Fantastic stats. He's done fantastic. Thomas Frank obviously moved on to Tottenham. You've gone in for him. You've paid a lot of money, as you've reiterated. He's come in for a lot of money. The last 2 years especially, his stats have improved, haven't they? The goals, the assists, him and Visser together. What do you think of his early form? We know about the penalty against Grimsby, of course, but what have you seen so far from him?
I think he looks great. I love him. He gives us a bit of directness out there on the right. He's got a great shot on him, good passing, sensible player, creativity. He looks like a really good signing for us. And we need him to be, because like we've just said, we've had to blow a lot of money on them 3 players at the top. I've seen people comparing him and saying he's the closest thing stats-wise you can get to Salah in the league. I don't think he's quite at that level yet, but I think he could. If we are going to get back to where we want to get back to, and where I'm sure both of you agree deserve to get back to, he's going to need to play a really pivotal role in that. We need him. He overperformed with like his XG and stuff last year. We're going to need him to have another year like that. But if you look at the first few games, he's creating, he's shooting, he's giving his width, he's giving his bit of direct threat, particularly on transitions. I think that'll be big this weekend against Pep. Yeah, I think he could. I hope he's going to have a big season for us.
Dan, your thoughts on Bruno from the other side?
Yeah, I rate him. Obviously, I was fantasy Premier League champion last season, and a lot of my points came from him. I mean, in our group, I was. I know it says here Chief Football Knowledge Officer, Andy Morland's name, but I mean, the stats don't lie. The stats do not lie. You just look at that and you see that I was the top dog. But yeah, he's unbelievable goal scorer. He gets himself about. Like, one thing does concern me is, I know Andy said before, he likes to call him the Kinder Bueno.
Yes, the Kinder.
But it looks like this summer he's been eating mountains of Kinder Buenos, because it looks like he's put on a massive. He's got a bit of a gut.
You know what he's got?
He
has got a big peach, Annie, Brian, and Buemo. He has a big peach. It won't concentrate on that too long.
But no, he's good. He was a good signing, and I know he might have been a bit expensive, but he was something United needed, and he was happy to go somewhere and not play Champions League football. Fair play to him.
I had him from week 1 last season in fantasy. He was the only player I had from the get-go right the way through. I know you won, Dan, and I know you won the head-to-head as well. So yeah, you have double honours, and we just hope you don't get it this year, because we're going to hear about it all again. But
you will.
Absolutely. I'm going to move us on to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Of course, he's been fantastic at Wolves. Wolves have struggled, but he was a diamond for them. And I just think it was a fantastic bit of business from you guys. A big fan of his, of course. Ryan Aït-Nouri, Dan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a signing that we've been crying out for years, really, because Pep's refusal to sign a left back for so long, just like he's gone the other side now with right backs, but we desperately needed a left back. I know Pep likes sticking centre backs out at left back, but he's attacking. He's another one. Fantasy Premier League scored some serious points last season in a poor Wolves team. I think he's the full package for a left back. He's fast. He's got tactical knowledge, is class. I do really rate it. And we've got a bit of a history with the Algerians at Man City with Ali Benarbia, so it's nice to sign one of his fellow countrymen.
Definitely, absolutely, yeah. Good links there. Andy, your thoughts on Aït-Nouri, and then we'll hit some predictions before we close out.
I think he was good last year for Wolves. Really good player. Don't know. I'm half thinking he might be one of those players that comes into City, plays under Pep. Pep likes to do weird and funky things with his fullbacks sometimes, doesn't he? So whether that means he's gonna shine straight away, I don't know. But I think for what he cost, he was about 40 million, something like that. I think
something like that, yeah.
Good bit of business in today's market, to be fair. And someone if we hadn't assigned Dorgu, someone United probably could have done with as well. So yeah, I won't be giving you any grief for that, mate.
No, I will just get us on to Cunha, actually, just before we go into predictions, just so we've had 3 of each from each side. Yeah, Cunha, Andy. Again, Wolves done it year on year. Got a bit of a fiery temper, but I think you've been missing that. A bit of fight, a bit of doggedness, of course. So he likes getting booked and getting sent off. But I think you've needed a player of that ilk. But again, his stats were up there with Mbeumo's, weren't they?
Yeah, we need a bit of that. He's a man who'll shoot from anywhere, and we haven't had that a lot in the team the last couple of seasons. Well, apart from Garnacho, but most of his went over the bar. Whereas Kudus seemed to go in quite a bit, to be fair to him. I think he'll be good. Again, he's another good ball carrier, stretches the game for us. Really wanted to play for the club, which was a big thing for us too. Great season for Wolves last year. Good season the year before. I'm hoping he'll do well. I'm probably more confident with Mbeumo, but I actually think Kuda could have a huge part to play this weekend if he's fit, because I think City's right, as Dan's just said, Pep hasn't signed a right back. I thought they were going to sign a right back end of the window. I think that could be a big part of the game this weekend because he's looked like, I don't think he's looked quite as good as Mbeumo, but he's still attacking people. And if we can get down there, you've got Nunes down there who I don't know what his position actually is, but he's not a right back.
He's not a right back.
Yeah,
no.
It could give him some trouble.
Thank you very much, boys. I will hit the predictions. This could be a point of contention, of course. I'm going to do mine last. I may upset one of you. But Dan, prediction for Sunday 4:30 kickoff at the Etihad, the City of Manchester on Sky Sports. How do you think it's going to go? And you need the 3 points, mate. You really do.
We do. We need to get back on track. A couple of losses. We need to get back on track. This is probably the perfect fixture for us to get back on track with for a nice 3 points. I'm going to say, I think City 3-1, and I reckon Haaland, fresh off the back of scoring 5 for Norway the other night, was it last night or the night before? I think he's going to have a big part to play in it. I can see us doing well. And maybe even United go 1-0 there, and then we go score 3. And I was just thinking before, I know we had the red moon the other night, didn't we? With the red moon in the sky. But I said on Sunday night, it's going to be a big blue moon flying high in the sky.
Picturesque that, Dan. Andy,
it is. Just
what have you got in retort there, Andy, for Man United? What?
Well, look, right.
Andy, one last thing, sorry, Andy. Andy has actually got a head the size of the moon as well. I just want to throw that out there.
It's true. More authentic than City's blue moon as well. I reckon, right, Pep is under pressure. He was cracking up last season. He's not had a good start this season. If it continues not to go well, I don't really know what'll happen because he's not been under that much pressure in his over the years because everything's been pretty plain sailing for him because City have been so good. So, Amorim, when we played big teams last year, he's done well. He did well at Anfield with United. We probably should have won that if Maguire didn't stick one over the bar. He beat City at the Etihad. He drew with them in a horrendous game at Old Trafford. It was a bad one.
0-0.
It was an awful one. Beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, though, at the Emirates. I think his formation works better against teams that come onto us. City are going to come onto us. We'll sit back, probably defend deep with 5. Have the Kinderman Bueno, and Kuna flying up the wings. I think we'll probably do you on the transition, which we've done loads of times at City over the years. But I think that it's set up for us this year because we can't really play in it either way. We're not going to beat you in possession. We're not going to pin you back. I think we're going to sit back. We're going to hit you on the break. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. And I reckon the Kinderman will get 1. And I don't know, let's say big Benjamin Sesko. I'm slightly worried, though.
Benjamin Tesco?
Tesco, man.
Benjamin Tesco's no chance.
A draw
Aldi.
would not be the end of the world for United. I've been thinking about this. But for City, a draw is just not good enough, Dan. It ain't good enough. Even at this early stage, and I know there's like 33, 34 games to go. I know Andy's thinking, no, we need to go and win it, and you do. But I don't think if you came away with a draw there, I think it's not a bad point at all. But Dan, even this early on, looking at title contenders and stuff, surely a draw's not good enough.
Yeah. No, we need to win, but we do have a bit of a problem. Is we've got a massive injury list.
Who's injured?
There's about 13 players. We've got about 13 players out. Foden's out. Marmoush is out.
Foden hasn't played well for about 18 months now, mate. Come on.
8 Noris are out. I think I did hear actually. Gvardiol, he might not be coming back yet. He might not be fit. We have got quite a few. I was reading up. I can't remember. I had a little list of players, but
doesn't know 13 City players. There's no chance they're all injured.
Unlucky for some, that is absolutely.
Johnny Stones.
Johnny Stones. That's
Ray and
you're used to that with Stones after all these years.
That's it.
He's always out.
That's who we are missing, Stu. Big Jackie Grealish would have been great in this fixture on the weekend.
What went wrong there? Was it the tactics that changed? I've heard about this. You watched him for years. What went wrong with Grealish? Not to make it all about Grealish because he's with us now, but just what went wrong before we go?
I don't know. people are saying he fell off after the season where we won the treble, we won the Champions League, we won the treble, and he might have partied a bit too hard in Grealish style. But in that season, he was unreal for us. And I know people go on about assists and goals and that, but the stuff he does for a team, ball retention, draws he draws fouls like no end. Pep had him pinned out wide a bit too much, didn't he? He needs to be a bit more in the middle, sort of like a number 10. But his overall, he was just like a fun guy around the camp, and I think we are missing a bit of that this season, a bit of a team spirit. We've got a bit of a new team, and players like Jack Grealish, a bit of a laugher and a joker. You need guys like that in your squad. I think he's a full package. For Everton, for a club like Everton, he's going to do loads for you. I want him to
get signed, mate. I really, really do. Even at this stage,
yeah, he will. It depends on.
He's playing a free role like he did for you years ago. And like he did at Villa, Moyes just said, play the free role. He's moving around. He's out wide. He's in the middle. The Leeds game, the cup game against Mansfield, on 60 minutes, he was so annoyed getting taken off, and you want that. His face was like thunder. I'm just made up we got him because I didn't think we were going to get him. I know Wayne Rooney was pivotal in him signing. He was in his ear saying, go to Everton. So we're lucky. We're very, very lucky, but not to make it about Grealish. I'm going to go with 2-2, boys. I've got
Stewie.
I'm sorry.
He's on the fence,
man. No.
He's on the fence.
It's defensively where I'm looking at it. I think there's going to be chances in the game.
There's going to be goals. They're not going to score 2 past.
Do you know what I'm genuinely worried about is Haaland, because we got back 3. If he starts pulling out towards where Luke Shaw is, Luke Shaw is a great player, a little bit chubby, not the quickest. And if Haaland is going out towards him and you're getting us on the halfway line, that could be bad times for us.
Definitely. Boys, thank you so much for coming on for the Manchester Derby preview. The 197th Derby on Sunday at 4:30. We will have the wordsmith, who is Peter Drury, on commentary, of course, as well. But I do like Martin Taylor, but I do like Peter Drury. So, we look forward to the 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. We didn't have as much team news with it being Thursday night, of course. But well done. Well done, lads, with what you know so far going into the weekend.
Rob, cheers, boys. Cheers, Stewie. Cheers,
Andy, Dan. Cheers, boys, and all the best for Sunday.
Go on, City.
May the best team win.
The red man. Cheers, boys.
Football, then and now, a fun look at football nostalgia and the modern game intertwined. Join us.